Hey guys, I'm Azirul Khushairie and today I will be telling you guys about Sudoku and explaining to you guys how to solve the Sudoku. So what actually is Sudoku? Sudoku is actually one of the popular number games and it is consists of a 9x9 grids with numbers appearing in some of the squares. The object of the puzzle is to fill in the remaining squares with all the numbers 1 to 9 in each row, columns and 3x3 subgrids. The numbers in each column, row and 3x3 subgrids cannot be repeated or doubled. Sudoku is based entirely on logic without any arithmetic involved, and the difficulty is determined with the quantity and the position of the original number. Now let's move on to the explanation on how to solve the Sudoku. So first thing first is you need to identify each numbers in the grid and list it down from the numbers with most grids to the numbers with least grids. As you can see here, the list started with number 3, followed by 8, 9, 4, 6, 1, 5, 2, and lastly 7. Next, we will start eliminating grids that have number 3 in it. Then, we need to cancel off the row that have 3 in it. And once we see the grids that only have one blank square, just fill in the number 3. After filling in, we need to cancel off the row of the filled in number 3. We will see another grid with only one blank square and we just need to fill in the number 3. And we were done with number 3. Now let's move on to the next number. Next number, you just need to repeat the similar step just like how we did with number 3. If after the cancellation of the row left you with 2 blank squares, just proceed with the next number until the last number. After finishing the elimination for the last numbers, we then have to eliminate numbers that already exist in all subgrids from the list. As we can see here, number 3, 8, and 7 will all exist in each subgrid, so they are already completed. After that, we need to identify again the number that have most grids to the number that have least grid. Then proceed with the same elimination techniques. After doing all that, you will now have the completed Sudoku. That's all from me. I will pass the next section to my group mate, which is Matthias.
Hi, my name is Matthias Kern and I'm gonna explain to you guys about session B, question 4. But before that, I would like to introduce to you guys about one method which is called the 4-step problem solving process. So what does it mean? This method will guide you on how to deal with problem solving question. So step 1, understanding the problem. We need to read and understand the situation so that it's easier for us to solve it. And step 2, devising a plan. We need a proper plan on solving the problem, and if you can, try to write the step so that you don't miss anything. Step 3, carrying out the plan. So this step, you need to make sure to do all the steps that you plan in step 2. And finally, step 4, looking back. Make sure everything is alright before you call it a day. Now, let's get into question 4. In the description, it was given that Nur Hidayah was the second oldest. So, she is 11 years old, since their age range from 6, 9, 11 and 12. Thus, 11 was the second oldest age. And Nur Hidayah is the second oldest. Since Nur Hidayah is 11 years old, she was given a bike. It was also given that Aisyah is not the oldest nor the youngest in the letter, so her age should be 9. Since Nur Hidayah is the second oldest, while Aisyah is not, while the guitar was not specified for which age had received the present, Aisyah was clearly given a guitar. Apart from that, Aminah was mentioned in clue D, where she is identified as not the oldest person. If she was not the oldest person, then Aminah would be the 6th, since Aisyah is 9, while Nurul Hidayah is 11, and both are not the oldest. Thus, Aminah received an aquarium. Now, let's proceed to question 5 and 6 with Arfan.
Hello, my name is Abang Arfan, and for my group project I will be explaining question 5 and question 6. So in question 5, Captain Jack Sparrow and his crew have found 24 bars of gold. His 3 crew out the bars into 4 equal piles, 1 pile of each for them and 1 pile for the captain. How many bars are in each pile? But the captain decides that everyone should have a different amount. The captain should have the most bars, Bert should have 2 fewer bars than the captain, Barry should have half as much as the captain, and Bill should have at least as much as Bert. So what we can obtain from this question, the captain has the most bars, Bert has 2 less bars than the captain, Barry has half the number of bars the captain has, and Bill has the same number of bars as Bert. We can also say that the captain should have 2 more bars than Bert, since Bert have 2 fewer bars than captain. But before we obtain the number of bars the captain has, since the number of golden bars for each person is different, let's divide the number of 24 golden bars equally for 4 of these people. So when we divide 24 golden bars equally for 4 of these people, we get 6 for each person. So let's say W equals to the number of gold the captain owns, X equals to the number of gold Bert owns, and Y equals to the number of gold Bill owns, and Z equals to the number of gold Barry owns. So when we put them into variables, we can easily make equations. So we can calculate the number of golden bars each person owns easily. So from the equations that I have created, X equals to W minus 2, or in other words, the number of gold Bert owns equals to the number of gold the captain owns, but minus by 2, because in the description it has said that Bert should have 2 fewer bars than the captain. So it also means Bert has 2 less bars than the captain. So X, which is the number of gold Bert owns, equals to the number of gold the captain owns, which can be stated as W in this equation, minus by 2. For the second equation, in the question it has also said that Bill should have at least as much as Bert. So Y is the number of gold Bill owns. So Y equals to X because Bill has the same number of bars as Bert. So Y should equals to X because the number of gold Bill owns equals to the number of gold Bert owns. And for the third equation, Z is classified as the number of gold Barry owns. And in the question, Barry should have half as much as the captain. So Barry should have half the number of gold the captain owns. So we can say that Z equals to half of W because W is the number of gold the captain owns. From this equation, we can easily calculate how many golden bars each person has. So if we put into cents, everyone should have 6 bars equally. So since everyone has a different amount, we cannot just say everyone has 6 bars equally. So if we actually apply these data into these questions, we can obtain these final answers. So W equals to 6 plus 2 equals to 8. Why? Because since the captain has 2 more bars than equal, because if everyone had equal bars, then the captain should have 2 more bars. So the number of gold the captain owns, classified as W, equals to 6 plus 2, or W equals to the number of bars everyone should have had equally plus by 2. 6 plus 2 equals to 8. So the captain has 8 bars, while the number of gold bird owns should have 2 less bars than the captain, which is 8. So when we calculate it, x equals to 8 minus 2 equals to 6. So we substitute the number of golden bars the captain owns into w in this equation. So we can obtain x equals to 8 minus 2 equals to 6. And for the second equation, we can apply the same thing. We substitute the number, we can substitute x into this equation. So we will obtain 6. And for the last equation, we would just divide the number of golden bars the captain owns into 2. So we get 4. So to prove that everyone has 34 bars when summed, when added up, we can calculate these amounts. We can sum up these amounts to prove that everyone would have 34 golden bars when added up. So 8, which is the number of golden bars the captain has, plus by 6, the number of golden bars bird owns, plus by 6 again, the number of gold bill owns, and lastly 4, the number of gold berry owns. When we sum all of these, when we add all of these, we will get 34. This is to prove that the number of bars gathered will be 24 and has been divided into 4 people but with different amounts. Okay, so in question 6, A. Find the missing numbers in the series 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 14. So, in this series, the difference between each number is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can see that in this series, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We can see that 9 is missing. So the first missing number is 9. 10, 11, 12, 14. We can see that there are 2 numbers missing between these 2 numbers, which is 12 and 13. So the missing numbers in the series are 9, 12, and 13. And for the second question, B. Find the missing number in the series 3, 5, 9, 17, 33. In this series, the difference between each number is multiplied by 2, which we can see here. The difference between the number 3 and 5 is 2. The difference between the number 5 and 9 is 4. So we can see that the difference between numbers are multiplied by 2. Because 3 to 5, the difference is 2. 5 to 9, the difference is 4. 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 4. So, to make it more clear, 9 to 17 is 8. 5 to 9 is 4. So we can see that 5 to 9, which is 4, multiplied by 2 is 8. So the next number will have a difference of 8, which is 9 and 17. The difference is 8. And the next number will be the same case. 17 and 33. 8 multiplied by 2 equals to 16. So 16 plus by 17 equals to 33, which is the next number after 17. So since this is 16 multiplied by 2, we will get 32. So the missing number right here, which is after 33, should be 65, because 33 plus by 16 multiplied by 2 equals to 65. Or in other terms, or in other words, 33 plus by 32, we will get 65. So the missing number in the series is 65 because the difference between the numbers in the series is multiplied by 2 from one number to the other. In question C, find the missing number in the series 2, 12, 30, missing number 90 and 132. So in this series, it's a bit more tricky. So 2 to 12, the difference will be 10. 12 to 30, the difference will be 18. So we can see that after each number, the difference between each number will increase by 8, which we can see right here. 2 to 12, the difference is 10. 12 to 30, the difference is 18. So 10, 10 plus 8, and this one should be 10 plus 8 plus 8. So when we follow the flow of the difference, we can see that 2 plus 10 equals to 12. 12 plus 18, which is 10 plus 8, equals to 30. So since the difference here is 18, 18 plus 8 equals to 36. So the next number should have a difference of 18 plus 8, which is 26. So 30 plus by 26, we will obtain 56 for the missing number. And to prove that the next number will be 90, we can add the difference of 56 and 30 we can add the difference by 8. We add the difference before the number 56. We add the difference of 56 and 30 by 8. So 56 plus by 26 plus by 8 will be 90, because 56 plus by 26 plus 8 equals to 90. Because in this series, each difference between these numbers is added by 8. 2 to 10, 2 to 12, the difference is 10. 12 to 30, the difference is 18. 30 to 56, the difference is 26. And 56 to 90, the difference is 34, which is the difference between 30 and 56 plus by 8. Or 30 to 56, we get 26. And 56 plus by 26 plus 8, we will get 90. And so on. So in question D, find the missing numbers in the following series. So in this question, we are given equations. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. 2 plus 5 equals to 12. 3 plus 6 equals to 31. And 8 plus 11 equals to question mark. So from the first equation, we have obtained the number 5. In the second, we get 2 plus 5 equals to 12. So if we calculate this normally, 2 plus 5 will be equal to 7. But why is it 12? Because from what we can see, 2 plus 5 equals to 7. But when 7 is added by the output of the first equation, which is 5, we will get 12. Because 2 plus 5 equals to 7. But we add 7 by 5. So we will obtain 12. Same goes to the third equation. 3 plus 6 equals to 31. 3 plus 6 is actually 9. So 9 is added by 12 from the second equation. So when we reach to the last equation, 8 plus 11, it should be 19. So 19 should be added with 21. We will get 40. So the missing number should be 40, since for every output of each question above was added from one equation to the other. For example, in the first equation, 5 is the output of the equation 1 plus 4. So for the next equation, the output from the equation before will be added to the output of the next equation. This can be pointed out by adding 5 with the sum of the equation below it, which is 7. The result will be 12 for the missing number. However, the output of the equation before it will be added with the sum of the missing numbers equation, which is 19. From that, we will obtain 21 plus 8 plus 11 equals to 40. And that is my explanation for question 6 and question 5.